acquisition manager. So I haven't made a video like this in a while. So when it comes to promoting, I'm so I really don't like promoting. I'm more of a low key person, but I understand that's how you bring traffic to it. And I'm only saying that because so I'm a Fiverr candidate or entrepreneur or freelancer, however you want to say it. I'm a big fan of having multiple income streams. So as you can see, I've had 3 orders. And right now that's what this is about. I have an individual. He reached out to me. He told me he wanted to learn seller financing. And so he booked the 7-day teaching of how to do seller financing. So for the next 7 days, I'm gonna be teaching him exactly how to do seller financing, putting the deal together. I'm gonna be walking them through the steps. I'm gonna be showing him exactly, what to do, how to underwrite it, and etc. I'm gonna give out a calculator. So the biggest thing with me is my goal is to teach individuals on how to do seller financing because a lot of people, a lot of people are not aware of how to do seller financing, which brings me to one of the reasons why I want to speak to the Real Estate Commission Board because this is something that the Real Estate Commission Board is not teaching. And it's a lot of misinformation. And for me as a business owner, this is one of the things I want to do just to be an entrepreneur. It's a lot of things that I'm trying to do that I actually have a passion for, I want to do. And this is one of the things I like teaching. I like showing people, things that's different. So this guy, he booked this gig. A little bit more about what I offer, a seller finance list for you. I'll structure a whole list for you. Come in and I won't pitch the call. I won't make the call. But I structure a seller finance list for you where I provide the leads. I provide the email template. You can send the email blast out, or you can just do it one by one. But I create a list for you. For 20 properties, I do $20. For 50 properties, I do 50. 50 of them, and for 100, I do 100. Um, Most people don't realize that there's easier ways to underwrite this, and a lot of people just don't have the time. So I'm coming in solving a problem. Um, so this individual, he's wanting to do, he's wanting me to teach him how to do seller financing. So for the next 7 days, that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be showing. This right here is my different types of financing document. So this is all the types of financing you can use. You got seller financing, you got taking back a mortgage. Here's the difference of what these two are different. The difference between these two, you got a land contract. You got sub to or subject to the existing mortgage. And then you got the different types of creative financing. So again, all this thinking creatively, getting financing using different instruments or things that trade value. Remember to be creative. So it comes in private lending, creative, IRA, creative, REO, creative, or short sale, and then creative thinking, and then traditional lending, and then etc. So understanding that these are all different ways of financing. So as you can see, there's multiple ways to purchase a property. There's more than one way to purchase a property. Most people look at the lens of traditional lending because that's what they're taught. And especially if you just ask a realtor, hey, I want to get a house. They're assuming that this is the way that you want. And then majority of the time, if you don't bring it up to the realtor, they won't say anything. Like shout out to Miss Holyfield. I just had a meeting with her not too long ago, and we were talking about the when she first got into real estate. What actually got her into real estate was she was talking to a realtor, and she told the realtor that she wanted to get a property, but at the time her finances wasn't correct. So one of the things the realtor did was introduce her to seller financing, and then that allowed her to get the mortgage directly without going through the qualification stage. You get to skip the process because you're going directly to the homeowner. This is the thing about certain homeowners, or certain homeowners, they may request that, so you got to be able to maneuver, but it's really a all holds bar. So we got this. We're going to give them this document. We're going to give them the owner financing and seller financing. We're going to give them this right here, the interest rate. We're going to go through all this tomorrow. And then I'm going to give them this calculator. So every day we're going to work on a property. We're going to call the homeowner, work through it, walk through the situation. And I'm gonna teach them how to do it. I'm gonna teach them how to give a seller finance offer. I'm gonna walk them through the process. And then I'm thinking about changing this up just a tad bit because this is more for my business. Again, this was something I always gave to homeowners when I'm working with homeowners and they're not familiar with seller finance, and I take them through the process of how this goes. I walk them through the process, and I may change it up just a tad bit, mainly for him, something that he could give to the homeowners. And yeah, that's about it. So we're going to start preparing for this meeting, this upcoming meeting with that person from Fiverr, and then from there, everything is this is going to go to him also. So again, seller financing, explain client facing guide. So again, what is seller finance and why are investors interested in seller financing? Then it goes into low for investors, seller finance offers means low upfront costs, flexible terms, can be negotiated interest rate that may be more favorable than the bank, faster transaction without a bank. How does seller financing help the homeowner? So we go into how it helps the actual homeowner collect monthly payments, earn interest on the loan, create steady, predictable income. In many cases, seller financing can result in more total payment over time. And that's something I always say. Like homeowners, they don't realize by them getting the cash out of pocket, by them getting a large upfront portion of their money, or try to get majority of it, they're actually losing money. You losing money trying to get full ARV or full retail. You still got to pay for capital gains, and then on top of that, let's hope you break even. With seller financing, you're able to get more because of the interest rate, the interest on the actual principal. So in a simple way of explaining it, if you have a mortgage or a car loan, there may be interest on it, depending on whatever's negotiated. So you're paying double in a sense. Whatever that interest is, that's what you're paying off. And then on top of that, depending on how much interest it is, it may take longer to pay off the actual transaction. For the person that's receiving the money, that's good. For the person that's making the actual payments, that sucks. You know what I mean? So this is why I always say seller financing is not being taught amongst the actual world. It's not being taught, which is part of the reason why I said we need to talk to the Real Estate Commission Board, because this information is not being taught. So why this matters, investors versus traditional buyers. So we go into it. Lack of income and expenses. Traditional, focus on how the home looks. The different types of investors. So again, I might take all this off because this doesn't matter directly. Yeah, I might take this off because the goal is just to educate the youth. We ain't got it. So how seller financing can be structured. So we go into this, why investors rank seller financing highly. Everything is negotiable. I keep saying that with seller financing, you can negotiate anything. It's about you, whatever you can get. So again, how the process typically works: purchase price, down payment, interest rate, monthly payment, length of loan. These terms are negotiated directly without bank involvement. So you don't need the bank to negotiate that. Purchase agreement, title company, closing. It's the same thing. It's the same way you would purchase a house. The only difference is you take it to the title company. You say, "Hey, I want to purchase this property." They verify everything. Their job is to make sure everything is documented and legitimately purchased. Again, you got to go through the process. Taxes got to be paid. Liens got to be paid. There's things that the title company will do that you will need to do, and sometimes sometimes this right here, it can change depending on the state. Let me explain it like this: if the attorney handles most of this part in your state, then you would take it to them and they would do that part. But sometimes you could just take it directly to the title company. It just depends on the state, the jurisdiction, the laws that's being projected. I only say that because that's what happened when we did what property that was. Shit, I forgot what property that was, but that was a situation. There was one of those attorney states. So important notes for homeowners. Seller financing is legal in all states and structured properly. Seller financing are protected through promissory notes, security instruments. Sellers can foreclose if payments stop. So again, we're educating the youth. Who is this? Who does it work for? And then this one, same document. I just made it look a little bit more professional. Again, I'm about to send this to where it go? I need to update it. I'm about to send this to the Fiverr guy. Excuse me. Shit, where'd it go? Oh, okay, I did click it. I was tripping. So again, this one we just updated it. It goes into different types of financing. You got seller financing, taking back a mortgage, land contract, agreement for deed, contract for deed, executory contract. Then you got subject to the existing mortgage, and then it goes into that the different types of creative financing, private lending, IRA. Most people don't know that you can use these instruments. You can use your life insurance policy to purchase real estate because you can lend against it. You got to talk to the people that know what they're doing. The only reason why I say that because somebody is saying, "Hey, you got to do this," and some people will say it depends on the instrument. For me personally, I know it happens because I hear it a lot in these. Again, experience. I hear it a lot in these rooms where people talking about they using this or they taking this and they using their HELOC and I'm like, damn, no, you could do that. Like that's my reaction with majority of all this shit. You could do that. Like I'm just as shocked as y'all. I'm damn shit. That's why. And for me, that's why I'm so hooked to real estate because if you're a creative person, if you like to think outside the box, oh my God, say less. You got traditional lending, and then I got right here, what is a pre-approval letter? Then it goes into it, what's the difference between a pre-approval letter and a proof of funds letter? So it goes into that. It goes into that topic as well. And then, do you have to get a mortgage to buy a home? No, you don't necessarily to get a mortgage. So again, other options included buy with cash. So we already got that though. And then it says keep in mind mortgage often have lower interest rates. Many alternatives still require cash up front. And that's the biggest thing that most people struggle with. Most people don't have the cash up front. With the financing, it allows you to skip the line in a sense. And then it goes into how to buy one free and clear. And then it says options you have as the homeowner, as the owner of the property: rent to own, lease option, lease to option, which is the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. And then lease this financing, what makes it different? A standard rental agreement with no purchase obligations. And then option, exactly. So yeah, we created. Again, I don't promote my stuff as much as I should. I'm not really a loud person in the sense. Some people they like to promote, they like to be loud, they like to gloss over everything they have. Thing that they me, it's the opposite. I don't want you to know. You know what I mean? Like that's how I operate. But so for me, it's like I'm kind of forced to in a sense because that's how you make the money and that's how you get in those positions that I again, it's a lot that I'm trying to do that I'm trying to get off the ground, but to do that, I gotta be willing to move. I gotta be willing to eat in a certain way. And what I mean by that is making decisions like this. So that's what we're doing. We're just bringing awareness to everything that we offer, everything that we have to offer. And we got our links. I'm gonna say, then I'm gonna say subscribe. So we're just getting prepared for this meeting we're gonna have. I'm about to send this to him. I'm gonna walk him through everything. So we got this again. It's a about me page. Let's say the acquisition. Let's say my. But again, we putting ourselves in a position to win, and that's what we've been doing since 2018. Shout out to the grind. All right. Now moving on to the next one. So we could close this. Let me make sure I saved it before I close it. So moving on to the next thing. So this is just a detailed way of underwriting a property, analyzing a property, underwriting a property, same kind of thing. So the thing that we need to change. So all this is correct. Um, what we will need to change. We might take that off. I can keep it, but this needs to be changed because a lot of clients won't have buy box. So we would need to change that, or at least instead of taking the picture, we would need to do this. Give me a second. I'm gonna figure out how to do this in a way that looks more professional. I use often when I'm trying to make a slide or I'm getting ready to make a professional document. This is like ChatGPT on steroids. This is a good software, a good website to use. I created a video a while back on the different types of AI tools I use, and this was one of them. This is a really good tool, especially if you use a lot of software. You need software like AI videos made, AI chat box. You need AI designs, AI slides, anything that you need done. This is a good software to use, and this is something I use over time. I'm getting a Zoom ready. We're getting ready to set up a Zoom. I may have to change the time frame. I'm just trying to get everything ready so when it's actually time to book that Zoom, everything is right there. And then the next couple of days is really just walking them through seller financing, helping them pitch it to homeowners, practicing, having them have the conversation, and then from there, you good. So bear with me while this loads up. Done with the slide. We're going to get this presentation in the I can't even think right now. I'm gonna get this in a Zoom as when we go over it. So again, seller financing, how investors can build yield and create a win-win deal with owner financing. Then we go into the key documents: a promissory note, mortgage, or deed of trust, amortized over a scheduled amount of time. Excuse me. We go into promissory note. What is a promissory note? A deeper video on this because this is a good topic. And then interest rate, long-term down payment. Then we talk a little bit more about the traditional versus seller financing, and then we talk more about the rate. Again, this is a financial vehicle for homeowners to make money. Then we go into, it's hard to see right there. So marketplace versus the three. It fell out. But as you can tweak it a little bit, but this is what we're going to go over. There you go. Okay. So yeah, this is what we're going to go over.